Just as planning and knowledge are important in preventing fires, they are equally important if a fire actually occurs in your workplace. Knowing how to respond is often the difference between a fire that is limited to property damage and a fire that results in injuries or loss of life. And in fact, a fire emergency action plan is required by OSHA. The required plan must include procedures for reporting fires, evacuation and escape route assignments, methods to account for all employees after an emergency evacuation, plans for employees who remain to complete critical operations before they evacuate, procedures for employees who are to be involved in rescue or medical duties, and the names of persons within the company who may be contacted for more information on the plan. As part of your personal fire response strategy, you should know the location of emergency exits and the best routes to follow, the location of fire alarms, the location and type of fire extinguishers or other firefighting equipment, and where to meet after you evacuate. If you discover a fire, it's best to evacuate the area and alert others by pulling the fire alarm on your way out. Don't be tempted to fight the fire unless you're designated, trained, and equipped to do so. If you hear a fire alarm, you should follow your evacuation plan immediately. Don't assume it's a drill that you can ignore, and don't assume it's a false alarm just because you don't see a fire in your area. It's far better to lose a little time to a false alarm than to lose a life because you ignored a real alarm. During a serious fire, employees become disoriented, confused, or panicked. Remember, the fire may quickly produce thick, toxic smoke that will reduce visibility and affect your ability to think clearly, making it difficult or impossible to find an exit, even in a building you are very familiar with. Even if you don't see smoke immediately, the fire may be producing invisible toxic gases and fumes. Inhaling these gases and fumes can quickly lead to a diminished mental status, impairing your ability to act, as well as causing serious physical harm, or even death. Knowing the routes to the closest safe exits ahead of time is your best protection. As you exit, check doors for heat with your hands before opening them. If a door feels warm, choose an alternate exit or shelter in place. Even a cool door can be hiding an active fire, so open the door carefully before proceeding. If possible, close doors behind you as you evacuate. This will help to keep the fire and smoke contained. If smoke is present, stay low or crawl. Remember, heat and smoke will rise, so staying close to the floor will offer some protection from dangerous smoke or scorching hot air. If your clothing ignites, remember the stop, drop, and roll technique you might have learned as a child. It still applies.